Hiya! It's been so long, Mom! How have you been doing? Well, I'm sure there's no reason for me to ask something like that. I know you're living such a terrible life now and have no time to be feeling good about anything, so you must be in awful shape. You don't have any money now, nor a job, and that's why you had to be kicked out of our house.
Amy, it's rare of you to be talking to me after so much time has passed. After I had divorced your father, you actually never even bothered to contact me once.
Well, I have something to tell you today, so that's why I decided to text you. I'm sure that Dad hasn't talked with you about anything, right?
You have something to tell me?
Well, Mom, Dad is going to be getting married again. And of course, this time, the woman he's getting married to is a very good-looking and wonderful person. She's apparently even the daughter of some company's CEO. Dad and I are about to become two very rich family members in her household.
That's really nice to hear. Tell your dad congratulations for me.
Sure. I'll let him know that this is killing you a lot to hear that his life is so much better without you.
Huh?
I'm sorry, Mom. Only Dad and I are going to be the ones becoming happy. But we're only able to become this happy due to you allowing Dad to kick you out of the house. Thanks for leaving, Mom. You left the house like a champ and never even once tried to fight back. Now that we no longer have to worry about you, Dad and I can start a new life in a very rich family.
I can see that. But you don't have to thank me, considering you did all this yourself. The whole reason I was kicked out of the house and forced to divorce your dad was all because of you, Amy.
Well, Dad really likes me and it makes me laugh. He's never even suspected that I was the one that ruined your cooking, making him think you sucked at making food. And he never knew that I was ironing his clothes instead of you and making them even more wrinkly. He didn't suspect a thing from me and never believed what you told him, which led to you being kicked out.
I really tried my hardest to explain to him that you were behind all of that, but he just told me to stop making excuses and never listened. You even went and deleted all the data on his computer and blamed it on me. When he heard that from you, he told me he had no need for such an awful wife and kicked me out before even letting me speak. I have still never forgotten what happened that day.
And just as I had planned, Dad kicked you out and divorced you and is now able to marry a much better woman, a CEO's daughter, and make my life perfect. This is all going exactly as I planned. I'm laughing so much right now that I might piss myself. I wonder if you could call me a mastermind for making up and following through with such an amazing plan.
What do you mean this is all going as planned? Are you telling me that you planned for your dad to marry a CEO's daughter?
I just made sure to create an environment that made it easier for Dad to find someone to get married to. Apparently at work, every Valentine's Day, he'd get chocolate from one of his coworkers, but he didn't really like sweet things, right? So I realized this and told her that she needed to give him something less sweet to get his attention. So this last Valentine's Day, she did as I suggested, and now she's golden.
And this person will be the one your dad gets married to?
That's right. Actually, she's not really a coworker, but more of a customer to the company he works for. And recently I learned she's actually the daughter of a CEO. But she's also been working with Dad at his office, so she's like a new hire to him. That's why I think Dad was able to bond with her so quickly after she gave him something he would actually enjoy on Valentine's Day. And they are doing so well together now.
And so all of this has gone as planned for you.
It's taken me a lot of time setting this whole plan up, but now that Dad is with her, they will be married in no time. I assumed Dad would take her into our house and make her my new mom to do all the chores and cooking, but hearing that she's part of a family with a lot of money makes me way more excited now. She's going to love me so much as her new daughter, and she's bound to find merit in me.
I'm sorry, Amy, but as your real mother, I can tell you there is no merit in having someone like you around.
And there you go, Mom. You've heard everything about how your daughter is going to have a new, beautiful, and rich mother at home. Now that I'm finished, if you have anything to tell me about, go right ahead, okay? Well, I doubt you have anything special to tell me about yourself. You used to be the housewife here, but after being kicked out and divorced, I'm sure you can't find any work and have nothing. All you get to do is live in a cardboard box somewhere asking strangers for their money, right?
Excuse me?
Well, I hope you find some stroke of luck that'll help you become something more to this world, okay? You probably won't hear from me ever again now, since Dad and I will become a rich new family members to someone else, huh?
Hey, Caitlin. I have something I'd like to ask you. Do you happen to talk with someone from your previous family?
Well, not really with anyone important to me. Why? What's going on? It's rare for you to ever ask me about my previous family.
Well, I just happened to look into our mailbox at home, and in it there is an invitation to a wedding for someone. The invitation is meant for you, but it seems that this might actually be for the wedding of your previous husband.
What? I got an invitation from him?
I wonder if your daughter was the one to send this to you. And there's a little message written on the invitation as well, asking that you come no matter what to the wedding.
So it probably was from her.
I may only be a high schooler, but I know that you should only be inviting people that are close to you to your wedding, like family and close friends. So it's a bit strange that she'd send you an invitation to your ex-husband's wedding. I mean, you never seem to want to talk about your previous family, so why would she think that it's alright to invite you? Actually, you always seem to hate them for what they did to you, right?
Well, you are right to say that, as I do hate them so much that I don't want to be around them anymore. I'm sure she only sent that invitation as a way of picking on me or something. When I talked to her a little while back, she told me her dad is getting married again. And apparently the woman he's marrying this time has a lot of money. So my daughter wanted to rub that fact in my face.
What kind of stupid reason is that for all this? Then you wouldn't mind me just throwing this invitation in the trash for you, right? You're not planning on going to the wedding, right?
Yeah, go ahead and toss it. That'd make me very happy. I'm sorry, though, that you had to see an invitation like that.
You don't have to worry about it. After seeing who it was from, I assumed it was all meant as a way of making you feel even worse about the past, so that's why I just thought I might ask about it today. I'm glad you won't have to see this stupid thing in person and that I can take care of it for you.
Carl, you are such a nice young man. Hearing things like that from my son really makes me feel so warm inside.
Come on now. This is the type of things any son should be saying to their mom. I think it's pretty screwed up that someone would want to continue picking on you like that, even after all this time. Honestly, your daughter is a real piece of work. I never expected that someone like her in elementary school would be able to act in such a terrible way already.
Huh? Did I not tell you anything about her age yet? She's actually going into high school now. She's not in elementary school anymore, although, based off how she acts, I can see why you might have thought that.
Wait, are you kidding me? Her handwriting? It's awful for someone in high school. Seeing that, I just assumed she was only in like second grade or something like that.
And while I was still her mother, I knew something was wrong with her handwriting with how poor it is. But I could never help her fix it because my whole time raising her, she'd pick on me and never listen because me being a housewife was some kind of sin in the family. I wanted her to practice writing with me, but she never listened. I guess I just hoped that as she continued to get older, her handwriting would improve, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Really? It looks as though you had a rough time with that family then.
But because of that, I'm able to really live a much happier life with you guys as my new family. Well, Carl, I'm pretty much done with my shopping for the day and will be on my way home. Then I'll get started on making dinner for us tonight.
I'll be in my room then, getting some homework done then. I really hope you're making Chinese food for us tonight.
I can do that. I'll make sure to make up some really good fried rice for you tonight with those dumplings you love.
Hello? I went through all that trouble of sending you an invitation to the wedding, and you're just going to ignore it? If you didn't plan on coming, tell me that then.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just happened to toss that invitation into the trash and totally forgot about it.
What? You received an invitation from the daughter you love so much that you went ahead and threw it away? What do you think you're doing, Mom? I get that you're jealous that Dad married a woman far better than you, but you can't just ignore me because of it.
I'm not jealous of anything, so you can calm down there. I don't really have any thoughts about your dad getting married again, actually.
Say whatever you want. I know deep down you are dying to have someone come and love you the way Dad wanted to. I bet you were really hoping Dad would come back for you and make you his housewife again, right? But that's too bad, Mom. Dad happened to marry a CEO's daughter. He would never want to remarry someone as disgusting as you anyway, so you can run along now knowing that you'll forever be alone.
But I'm already married to a new man. So you really don't have to bother yourself with talking to me again, okay? Let's just all go our separate ways and focus on the new families we have.
Huh? Hold your horses, Mom. You got married to a new man? You were kicked out of the house and divorced as a housewife, so there's no use in having you in anyone's life anymore, right? What kind of brainless idiot decided it'd be a good idea to marry you?
You're being rude, Amy. My husband is a very wonderful man. He has a lot of pride in himself as a doctor and feels responsible for me as his wife and wants to make sure I'm always doing well. He might be a bit strict around other people, but to me, he is always a very kind-hearted man. He loves me with all his heart, and I do the same for him.
Liar! You want me to believe that the man you married is a doctor? If that's really the case, then he's bringing in loads of money, right? How many times more is he making a year than Dad?
Please do not ask me such rude questions as that. You don't even have anything to do with him and his work.
I see. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about you and your life anymore either. I'm the daughter of someone who is part of a very rich family now and have no need for you. I don't even really care about your husband's money.
That's not what it seems like to me. You seem to care a whole bunch more about me and my new husband, even though I don't want to hear anything about any of you guys anymore.
Hey, Mom. Next time, do you want me to come and see you? You haven't even seen me since the divorce a long time ago, so I think it'd be nice to allow my mom to see her daughter again. You want to see me, right?
What? Why have things changed pace so quickly?
I don't really think there's anything in it for me to meet my lowlife mother anymore. But I'm going to be kind and give you one more chance to see me in person like you've been wanting to do. I want to hear from you in person about how you got a doctor as a husband, and if that's even true. This will be such a fun and educational experience for the both of us.
Huh?
I'm starting to think that in the future I'll want to marry a doctor myself. And from what I've heard, people that study medicine are very hard nuts to crack. So I'd like to learn from you how you've made a guy like him love you, if you have been telling me the truth. You're going to want to tell me all about it, right?
Your behavior has changed just like that?
Ah, by the way, since I'll be coming all the way out to meet you, will you please have some money for me to pay for my troubles? There has to be something in this for me, right? Now, I'll see you next weekend at the bus stop closest to your house. We can go to a cafe together, which will cost you $200. And since I'm going to have to talk with you and everything, that'll be another $500, please.
What did you just say?
It's been so long since you've had a chance to see your cute little girl, so paying me for my troubles is A-okay, right? Also, you so happen to be the wife of a doctor now, right? So you should have all the money in the world to give to me.
Huh?
You are aware that I'm the daughter of a very popular woman now, right? So paying me to spend time with you is quite normal these days. And to be honest, $700 is pretty low, so you should be happy. You're finally getting a chance to meet your daughter after that sad divorce. Maybe starting next week, you can pay me $500 every month to come out and see you.
Shut the hell up, you stupid loser.
What?
I've been quiet this whole time watching over her shoulder thinking, what the hell? How long have you been letting yourself rot away like that? I can see you have no idea yourself, but do you think that it's alright to talk to the woman who gave birth to you like that? I can't watch you talk like that to her anymore.
What is this? You're not my mom, are you? I'm not ready to talk to someone who I have no clue about.
I'm a very important family member to Caitlin, so I'm not some random person, but someone who has a lot to do with what's going on here. I'm not going to let you talk to her like that anymore, so I'll be the one talking to you from now on.
Huh? You said you're some kind of family to her? So, are you the man she married recently?
I'm her new husband's son, actually. I'm the son of the doctor that Caitlin married.
What? The man she married brought along a son with him?
My mom died a long time ago in a car accident, so these last few years I've only ever had a dad. I don't even really remember what it was like having a mother until she came into my life. She is so nice to me, and I love thinking of her as my new mother because she treats me so well. We have a whole new family now together, and I don't want you to try to break it anymore. You go ahead and get lost and quit trying to make my mom have horrible memories of the life back when she had to baby you.
What the hell? You are nothing but some brought-along child, you loser. I'm her actual daughter, and she has no room to love someone like you. Now, you let me meet my mother because she's really excited to see me. All you are is a motherless boy who amounts to nothing compared to someone like me with 2 mothers.
Shut the hell up. And you are a freaking brat who is still acting like she needs her mother's nipple to suck on. All you are to her is a bad memory, and she doesn't even call you her real daughter anymore, you freak.
What was that?
That woman that birthed you doesn't want to meet you anymore, so get lost. That's her answer. So leave her and the rest of her family alone. You are not going to be meeting with her, and you sure as hell aren't going to be getting any money out of her either if you try. You might be a high schooler, but from what we've all seen, you need to be put back in preschool.
What is wrong with you? You just came out of nowhere and are already hurting my feelings.
And you deserve to have your feelings hurt, you waste of life. You're not the one that had to be kicked out of the house long ago, so stop whining like you're such a victim. If you want a recommendation on what to do with all this time you have in your hands that you put into making fun of my mom, then go use it to take some more lessons in handwriting. That comment you wrote on her invitation looks like a 2nd grader wrote it. But even that would be mean to 2nd graders now, so I'll say that you write like a 1-month-old.
Huh? What is actually wrong with you? You're really pissing me off now. Who do you think you are? I'm not going to continue talking to you if this is how you're going to treat a cute little girl like me.
I'm sorry, but I'm a high schooler talking to a bratty preschooler about how to behave. And if you want to know where I go to school, it's Jefferson High School, and I'm a senior there. My name is Carl Millington. There. You know who I am now. If you have a problem with me, come to my school and pick a fight with me then.
What? Jefferson High School? And your last name is Millington? I go to the same school and am a freshman. I know you.
What? You know about me?
I go to the same school and know all about you. You might think of me as a preschooler, but I'm seriously in the same school as you, and I can prove it to you the next time we have school. I even have a gym class with you and everything.
What? You're at the same school as me?
And also, you might have gotten 1 or 2 love letters from me before.
What?
I was a bit too embarrassed about it to write my name on them, but they were all from me. But I never thought you'd become my mom's new son. This is like one of those sexy drama stories, right? It's like you and I are meant to be together forever then, right?
Now that I think about it, I could barely read most of those letters you wrote. So those were all meant to be love letters? I just thought some elementary schooler was putting those in my locker somehow, and I just threw them all away because I couldn't tell what they even said. I seriously thought some kid's younger sibling was putting those letters into my locker on accident or something.
What? Calling my handwriting that bad is really mean. I put a lot of time into writing all those for you.
But come on, your handwriting is horrendous.
You really think it's that bad?
Well, I'm really shocked now. I never thought something like this would ever happen to me. Well, that's alright because now I have the perfect opportunity to tell you that I hate your guts. So please stop putting those crappy letters into my locker. There's your answer, by the way.
You're kidding, right? Hold on. Something like this should not be happening to me.
The only thing that shouldn't be happening is someone your age acting like a baby. Now, don't you ever talk to my mom or I again.
I never heard about how you became Carl's mom. I was so looking forward to the day he started to notice me, but now you've gone and ruined everything between me and him.
Well, I never knew anything about you wanting him to notice you. And how would I have known that you went to the same high school as him? You haven't even spoken to me for the past 3 years now, so it's not like I knew where you were going.
Well, I started to go last year. I started just before Dad started to go out with the woman I set him up with. Actually, she was the one that recommended I go to Jefferson in the first place. So I went along with her recommendation because I thought going there would help me become a beautiful woman just like her.
Jefferson High is a private high school, right? There happens to be a lot of very well-off kids going there right now, which is why I'm a bit surprised to hear that you go there as well now.
But with what's happened between Carl and I have no choice but to change schools. I haven't even been able to make many friends this year, and now there will be no chance. I was even supposed to get a new car and start going there instead of by bus this spring.
What? Is that so? I know that some people your age get a car if they live far away, but you're within walking distance, right? You shouldn't even need to take the bus, actually.
I know that, but my new mom doesn't want me taking the bus anymore and wants me to have my own car. She told me that she doesn't really want a daughter, and since Dad brought me into the family with him, she wants to reduce any responsibility she has for me. So she'd rather me take a car to school instead of having to rely on her and the bus to do all that. This is why she wanted me going to this school in the first place, so that I could learn to manage things on my own. She's even asking that I start working a part-time job to make some spending money for myself.
She seems like quite the woman herself, that daughter of a CEO.
This is all going to hell, Mom. Dad's even happy to see me get a car so that they don't have to drive me around anymore. I was at least looking forward to having the freedom of having my first boyfriend, Carl, by having my own car, but that's not going to happen now either. I don't even want to go to school anymore. But whenever I tell Dad that, he tells me to grow up and get out of the house.
Really?
I asked him if I could just change to a public school close to the house and get away from Jefferson. But he keeps telling me it's too late now and that he's already paid for me to be there. He's so mean. I just want to drop out of school and spend more time at home with my new mom and all her money.
I see. Well, I'm not going to say anything about that. You have to be responsible for your actions at your age, and this is the perfect time to learn how to be a young adult.
What?
Are you really going to get this upset over everything? You kicked me out of the house and had your dad divorce me, and you don't see me giving up, right? It's your turn now to have a lot of weight put on your shoulders, Amy.
But I...
Do you understand what it's like to have everyone in the family go against you? You must be able to see how it feels to want to go home to your dad's, but have him tell you he's not helping in any way. It's a lonely world now, a cold one. I felt that exact same way back when I was your mother.
I'm sorry, Mom. I understand how you felt now and totally agree that it sucks. So maybe you and I can meet each other now? I won't even ask you for any money this time. I just want to meet my mom. And I just want you to listen to me talk about how tough my life is.
I'm sorry, Amy. I can't do that.
Why not?
I do feel sorry for you, but it's far too late to be asking me for something like that. I already told you before that I don't want anything to do with you.
You're lying, right? I'm your real daughter.
And I was forced out of the house by my real daughter. On that day, my love for my real daughter was also forced out of the house, and I no longer wanted it.
But Mom...
So now that you understand my feelings, thank you for this message. But you don't have to tell me anything else about your life, so please stop talking to me. You have a great time now. After that, according to what I heard from Carl, Amy got that car from her stepmother and was forced to take care of herself. But she found it harder and harder to find happiness at school and was always seen walking alone with nobody to talk to. By the way, when it comes to my ex-husband, I thought things with him and his new wife would be a lot better now that they removed a lot of their responsibilities to Amy. However, that CEO's daughter really loved spending her money up. So although they were able to experience a life of luxury for a little bit, once her money ran out and her parents wouldn't give her any more, it was over. Now those two live in a house that's slowly getting worse and worse as they spend every day fighting one another. There are a lot of rumors coming out about them now, like how my ex kicked his new wife out of the house, and that Amy had to be sent to an institution for her behavior. Things like that. And over time, those kinds of rumors began to make their way into my ex's office, and his life at work became a whole lot more troublesome.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
What is wrong with you, Ruth? What the heck was all that for? Why did you come out of nowhere and spill red wine all over me? And I had just bought this brand new dress for the wedding today. Shut up! You are useless to us. You happen to be an eyesore to me, so I had no choice but to pour my wine on you. And you shouldn't even be here in the first place. Huh? But I did just as you asked and brought the things you wanted, right? You told me right in the middle of the wedding that you wanted me to go out and get some cigarettes, and so I did. And I only just got back from the nearest gas station I could find. Well, you came back way too soon. I was hoping you would be gone for a bit longer. What are you talking about? You are always getting on me about hurrying up and getting what you ask for. And also, today is the day of the very important CEO's wedding. I thought it would be wrong of me to be away from my seat for too long, so I made sure to go as quickly as I could to get you those cigarettes. And why do you think I had to leave the wedding for a little bit? I was trying to make sure there'd be one less rival during the bouquet toss. But now that you're already back, there was no point in me sending you out at all. Huh? For the bouquet toss? Wait, you're telling me you're trying to catch the bouquet today? Of course I am! This year I'll be turning 34 years old. And so before I turn into a lonely woman, I have to make sure that I find myself a man to marry. So that's why today I'm making sure that I'll be the one to catch that bouquet. And it's not going to be just any old bouquet, but one being tossed by the CEO's wife herself. So grabbing that will definitely bring me the luck to find the man of my dreams this year. And so it's for that reason you decided to get wine all over my new dress? Well, this is a very important moment in my life. This is the wedding of my CEO, and so everything that happens today is huge for me. And not only are all the employees from the company here, but so are all of the company's customers and such. Even the younger CEOs from other companies that I'm aiming at getting lucky with. So I have to make sure that I show off to all of them by catching that bouquet right in front of their very eyes. So that's what you want, huh? The main guy I'm looking at is the young CEO of the company Green Life that we just started doing business with. Last time when I first saw him come into the offices, my heart started racing for him. Oh, I just knew that I had to see what it'd be like to be married to him. Huh? Marry? So that's why today, once I've caught that bouquet, I'll get far closer to him. I'm sure he'll see it all happen, and then I'll look over at him and start my plan of talking to him. As long as I can get him to notice and talk to me, then he'll be all mine. And since I'm a strong adult woman, a younger man like him would love to become married to me. And so that's the whole point of you trying to take out the competition? But I'm sorry to say, you tossing wine all over me is not something that I'll let you get away with. If you really wanted me to be out of the bouquet toss, you should have just come and talked to me about it face to face like a real adult. Shut up, you useless woman! Ever since this wedding had started, I could tell just how much of a problem you'd become for me. Even though you are lower than me in the company, you looked around like you were better. But I'm not going to let you think that you can have that young CEO instead of me. Huh? Ever since the start of this wedding, that young man has been watching me a lot. At first, I thought he was starting to become interested in me, but then I got the feeling that he was looking at you instead. Is that so? I guess I never really noticed him looking at me, ever. Well, that's because you're still young and naive. Not only can you never get anything you're asked to do done right, but even when asked to go out and buy me some cigarettes, you did it too quickly. If you happen to grab the attention of my young man from me again, I'm going to reduce your pay. What? There is no way you could get away with something like that. And I'm telling you that I'm not trying to get with that man. Then, if you want me to trust you, go ahead and leave this wedding. Especially now that you're all covered in red wine, there's no point in you sticking around and ruining the vibe of this wedding. A useless girl like you needs to go home. Having a disgusting subordinate like you head home is not a problem at all for the rest of us. You better not mean any of that, you old hag. Huh? Whoops. I accidentally happened to use a not-so-nice word to describe you there. But even using that word hasn't subsided any of my anger. I suppose I really am at my limit with you then. I can see that recently you've been a bit rude with how you've gone about things around me. But to think that on a day as important as this you'd stoop so low? I can't believe you think you have the right to toss me out of my own dad's wedding. Huh? Your own dad? Today is the wedding of the CEO of the company I work for. But that also means that today is the day of my dad's wedding. I had been so looking forward to this day and everything. But now you've gone and ruined that for me. Huh? Wait just a second. What do you mean by your dad's wedding? Are you actually the daughter of this company's CEO? Yes, I am his actual daughter. When I was born, my mom ended up passing away during the birth. And ever since then, my dad was a single father, making sure to do anything he could to raise me well. I'm sure that having to run a huge company while caring for me was a tough task for him to accomplish. But thankfully, after all of that, he has finally come around to finding another woman to marry. And as his only child, I was looking forward to being able to celebrate that for him. But because of you, Ruth, everything is ruined. You're lying, right? I never heard from anyone that you were the CEO's daughter. Well, my dad told a lot of the top-level people to never say anything about it and just let me do my job like everyone else. After all, being known as the daughter of the CEO would have created a lot of unnecessary stress. So from a young age, it was made sure that I was raised with the best education. But I made sure that all I wanted was a job working here, and to be treated the same as everyone else for the time being. Are you serious then? So, I please ask that even though you know about me being his daughter now, that you keep it a secret from everyone else. If you can do that for me, then I'll keep you spilling wine all over me a secret between us. Wait, really? Don't get the wrong idea about this, okay? This is all to make sure that my dad's wedding is not ruined today. If everyone had to learn that the daughter of the CEO had wine intentionally spilled all over her, it would make this one of the worst days of my dad's life. All I have to do is get myself into a new dress. Now, I'm going to get myself a new dress to change into, and since that will take me some time, I won't be able to take part in the bouquet toss. So go on ahead and try with all your might to grab that bouquet. Hey, Luna. If you have the time, what do you think about getting lunch together today? I actually have a restaurant that I'd really like to go and eat at. Why are you asking me that out of nowhere? You had never once invited me out to lunch before. And where did calling me a useless subordinate go? Oh, come on now. Since when did I ever call you a useless subordinate, Luna? I would never call someone as important as my coworker something like that. Huh? Well, once you've finished up whatever work you have this morning, give me a call or text. I'll do my best to match my timing with you and we can both go out to eat. But I wonder if the restaurant that I want to go to will be okay. It's going to be one of those general lunch places that everyone goes to for lunch during work, so that doesn't seem fit for the CEO's daughter. I really want to know what's going on here. If you're trying to get on my good side now, you're too late. Just because of that wedding, that doesn't mean everything you did to me in the past is just gone and disappeared. What? Oh, I'm not trying to get on your good side. I just want you and I to have a little time together since I'm your boss. Well then, if that's the case, I'd rather us not worry about any of that. And anyway, I'm already eating my lunch as we speak. Huh? Oh, is that right? Then I guess I'll take my lunch now and come see you. Can you tell me where you're eating right now? No, thank you. I don't want you here. Well, if you're going to be that cold, I'll tell you the truth. I actually have something I'd like to talk with you about. I have a small problem going on, and leaving it as is will make it hard for me to focus on my work. And so I'd like to talk to a splendid subordinate like you about everything that's bothering me. You have a problem? If I'm not able to do my best with my work here by focusing on my tasks at hand, then this company could run into some problems as well, right? And that would lead to your daddy becoming very sad by the state of his company. As the daughter of the CEO and being my subordinate, I'd like for you to listen to me. Well, if that's all you want, then tell me right now. Because I am not interested in having lunch together with you. Come on, you're being too stubborn, Luna. I'm just asking for you to hear me out about a couple of things. But if you say you'll listen right now, I guess that'll do. What I want to ask from you is that you become my Cupid to help me with my love. Huh? And what does that mean? I'd like for you to help me become even closer with the young CEO of Green Life. I ended up never catching that bouquet at the wedding last week. And so I never had a chance to get close to him then. But if it were to happen that the daughter of this company's CEO became a friend of mine, then I might have a chance. So, to make sure that him and I can become a couple, come and help me. At that wedding for your dad last week, him and that young CEO seemed to get along with one another really well. So there's no way, as his daughter, you can't help me get closer to that guy. So I'd like to ask that, using your influence, you help introduce me to a man like him. And in that way, you'll be helping me get married to him. I will not help you in any way with that. What? If you had some issue related to work, I wouldn't mind helping, but I have no interest in your private life. You are free to be upset about whatever it is that happens at home, but when you are in the office, you should be focused on your work at hand. Hey, hold on, Luna. What do you think you're doing saying no to your boss's request? With what you had just been asking from me, there was no relation to us being boss and subordinate. Huh? You stop right there. I am asking for your hand in all of this, so don't think you can talk back to me. I don't care that you are the CEO's daughter. You cannot speak to me that way. I'm not acting this way because I'm his daughter, though. You are. You are acting like a stuck-up jerk right now because of your status. Listen, even if you are the daughter of the man that runs this company, you are still my subordinate and I can ask what I want from you. And I'm sure you understand that you must always do what your boss asks from you. If you don't want me to go back to the days of me calling you useless, then you'd better listen to me. I want you to use your influence as the CEO's daughter to make sure that I meet the love of my life and marry him.
Even if she were to show you to me, I'd never go out with someone like you.
Huh?
I wonder who is really abusing their status right now. You're the one using your position as boss to ask your subordinate to help you with a personal issue outside the company. As her older brother, I will not let you keep doing this to Luna.
Oh, older brother, huh? You're Luna's older brother, then? In other words, you're the son of the CEO, then? But Luna said she was an only child.
I am also the CEO of Green Life, Jackson. Thank you so much for attending my father's wedding last week. And I also want to thank you for looking after my sister as she began working within that company.
What? So you're the young CEO from Green Life?
And for whatever reason, I can see that you are really interested in me. But I'm sorry, I will never be going out with you in any way.
Huh?
I'm not really fond of people that call my sister a useless subordinate, as well as doing other unjust things as she's trying to get her work done.
Wait a minute, Jackson. I think you misunderstood. That was just me talking to her on a more personal level. To me, Luna is a very important subordinate, and so I had to keep her in line.
Huh. So you spoke to her like that on a personal level then?
Also, you and I have never had the chance to talk to one another in person yet, have we? So please don't say you're not fond of me until you see who I really am. I'm sure that if you and I went out to eat together, you'd learn to take back what you said.
You have a lot of confidence in yourself, don't you?
I've been told a lot that I'm a really good-looking woman for being in my 30s. And so I'm sure that someone as young and fit as you would fall in love with me as well. And also, during your dad's wedding last week, you were looking at me over and over again, right? I know that you felt a little something for me back then, didn't you?
Back then, I was not looking at you all those times. I was just looking at my younger sister all those times. So don't think I had any feelings for you back then.
Huh?
I happen to talk with my sister about her job quite a lot. She always comes to me asking for help with things like the relationship she has with you, always telling me things aren't going well, and about you calling her useless, that you gave her crappy jobs to work on. And when she would help you finish up a project, you would end up blaming her for any mistakes that there might have been. You really do check out as a type of woman with that toxic attitude.
That all never happened between us. I believe that maybe Luna is just a little confused about things here. I'm not the kind of boss to bully any of my subordinates like that, Jackson.
Well, if that happens to be the case, I'd like for you to stop thinking about dating me and to never bother my sister with anything besides work ever again. And when it comes to the work you give her, make sure it's the work she's supposed to do and nothing else. Now I'll be going. I just finished up having a great lunch with Luna and have to get back to business myself.
Wait, what have you done? Now it looks like that young man hates me. And why did you have to tell him about all the relationship we had in the past?
I didn't do anything wrong, though. I just happened to ask for his advice when dealing with you. And it's the truth that you always called me useless and would always get upset with me for mistakes I made doing your own job.
Shut up already. You're still my subordinate and you have no right talking back to me like that. All right? Go and talk to him about how you messed up and lied about what you said about me. Tell him that I'm an amazing boss and woman so that he'll start to like me again. If you don't do that, then I'll have you fired. Huh? Fire me? It doesn't matter if you're the daughter of the CEO or not. After all, nobody else knows that about you anyway. And so when you're someone that everyone couldn't care less about, being fired is not a big deal. And if you're so upset about the way I've been treating you, allow me to end it all for you.
I have to ask, how many people have you fired already for not doing as you liked? I'm sorry, Ruth, but you're not going to be able to get away with that anymore.
Huh? Oh.
I've already heard about this stuff from some other employees. About how anyone that works under you always either gets fired or quits within a couple months of being your subordinate. But with the company becoming more interested in what's going on with your department, your best bet is to run.
What are you even talking about? Don't act as though I have some sort of pleasure in firing those that work for me.
But that could be just the case, right? You always try and force people to make mistakes and then criticize the hell out of them for it. And so when you've had enough picking on them, you end up firing them and moving on to the next victim, right? And if you try and dig your way out of this one, I've made sure to collect all the evidence I need.
What evidence?
When talking further with some of those other coworkers and employees, they made sure to tell me everything about what's been going on with you. But I am not going to forgive you for being compliant within my dad's company. Hence the reason I always put up with the way you called me names and forced me into tough positions. And after doing that for a while now, I was able to get all I needed to make sure that you never get away with it again.
But what kind of evidence could you have? You've already made the choice to be fired by me, so nobody in the higher-up positions will listen to you. And I'm sure that evidence isn't anything anyway.
Nobody has been fired or quit yet, so there's still lots of ears ready to listen. Ah, and did I tell you I spoke with those that you ended up firing before? They all gave me lots of juicy evidence when it comes to the things you did to them.
What did you say?
I can't believe I was able to get all this evidence on you because I'm sure with the way things were going between you and I, you would have really ruined the image of this company. So I've now come to the conclusion that the only way to end all of this within your department is to have you fired.
Wait a minute, Luna. What do you mean, have me fired? I'm one of the big players within this company. I'm the one that puts in the effort for a lot of sales and everything that has to do with selling to customers.
But you always ended up handing off your work to your subordinates, so perhaps they were the ones really making things work for the company. And all I've gathered as evidence, I'll bring to HR and have them think about you. And of course, I'll also be letting my dad know about this as well. I'll even make sure to ask him to have you let go of as soon as possible.
You're lying, right?
You know very well that all the things you've been doing within the company was not okay. So please, hurry up and start preparing your things in that office for when the time comes you have to leave.
I'm sure that by next week the decision will be made. You can't just do this to me! Why do I have to be the one to leave this company? All I did was get rid of the subordinates that I couldn't use. Actually, if anything, it's because of them always making mistakes that I had to put in more work to correct them all. You should be thankful that I did all of that. You really are self-centered about everything. Even after being exposed like this, you're trying to make it seem as though you did the right thing all those times? I might have to show my brother all of this evidence as well later on. Huh? I'm assuming that this will all require you to step into my dad's office at some point to explain yourself, so enjoy that time with him one-on-one and say whatever reasons you'd like. That would be the perfect chance for you to ask if you can marry his son. I'm sure that would be your last chance to get closer to my brother. You think that I could talk about your brother like that now? Well, I'm going to get back to work now. I assume that I'll have a lot more work to do now that you've lost even more focus. And I still have a bunch of your work from this morning to finish. I was able to have a delicious lunch with my brother at least, so maybe that'll help me make less mistakes. And just after that, Ruth was called up to my dad's office where she was told to never come back to the office ever again. And when the company made their final decision the following week, she had to come back in and explain everything while she cried. But my father ended up telling me that after having to come in and explain herself to all the higher-ups, she burst out saying that I was the perfect subordinate. She then followed up by saying that she was so proud to be my boss and asked that they please let her continue her work with me. And of course, my father and everyone agreed with her, saying that I was the best. But then they continued to fire her, and she had to leave the offices for good. But that wasn't the end for her, as all those old employees she fired came back to fight her in court for firing them without reason. And so now, Ruth is having to go from hearing to hearing, paying one upset ex-subordinate after another for her mistakes.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.